Chapter 9. Locke and Demosthenes. I didn't call you in here to waste time. How in the hell did the computer do that? I don't know. How could it pick up a picture of Ender's brother and put it into the graphics in this Fairyland routine? Colonel Graff, I wasn't there when it was programmed. All I know is that the computer's never taken anyone to this place before. Fairyland was strange enough, but this isn't Fairyland anymore. It's beyond the end of the world, and I know the names of the places. I just don't know what they mean. Fairyland was programmed in. It's mentioned in a few other places, but nothing talks about the end of the world. We don't have any experience with it. I don't like having the computer screw around with Ender's mind that way. Peter Wiggin is the most potent person in his life, except maybe his sister Valentine. And the mind game is designed to help shape them, help them find worlds they can be comfortable in. You don't get it, do you, Major Imbu? I don't want Ender being comfortable with the end of the world. Our business here is not to be comfortable with the end of the world. The end of the world in the game isn't necessarily the end of humanity in the Bugger Wars. It has a private meaning to Ender. Good. What meaning? I don't know, sir. I'm not the kid. Ask him. Major Imbu, I'm asking you. There could be 1,000 meanings. Try one. You've been isolating this boy. Maybe he's wishing for the end of this world, the battle school. Or maybe it's about the ending of the world he grew up with as a little boy, his home, coming here. Or maybe it's his way of coping with having broken up so many other kids here. Ender's a sensitive kid, you know, and he's done some pretty bad things to people's bodies. He might be wishing for the end of that world. Or none of the above. The mind game is a relationship between the children and the computer. Together they create stories. The stories are true in the sense that they reflect the reality of the child's life. That's all I know. And I'll tell you what I know, Major Imbu. That picture of Peter Wiggin was not one that could have been taken from our files here at the school. We have nothing on him electronically or otherwise since Ender came here, and that picture is more recent. It's only been 1.5 years, sir. How much can the boy change? He's wearing his hair completely differently now. His mouth was redone with orthodontia. I got a recent photograph from Landside compared. The only way the computer here in the battle school could have got that picture was by requisitioning it from a Landside computer, and not even one connected with the IF. That takes requisitionary powers. We can't just go into Guilford County, North Carolina, and pluck a picture out of school files. Did anyone at the school authorize getting this? You don't understand, sir. Our battle school computer is only a part of the IF network. If we want a picture, we have to get a requisition. But if the mind game program determines that the picture is necessary, it can just take it. Not just every day, only when it's for the child's own good. Okay, it's for his own good. But why? His brother is dangerous. His brother was rejected from the program because he's one of the most ruthless and unreliable human beings we've laid hands on. Why is he so important to Ender? Why, after all this time? Honestly, sir, I don't know. And the mind game program is designed so that it can't tell us. It may not know itself, actually. This is uncharted territory. You mean the computer's making this up as it goes along? You might put it that way. Well, that does make me feel a little better. I thought I was the only one. Valentine celebrated Ender's 8th birthday alone in the wooded backyard of their new home in Greensboro. She scraped a patch of ground bare of pine needles and leaves, and there she scratched his name in the dirt with a twig. Then she made a small teepee of twigs and needles and lit a small fire. It made smoke that interwove with the branches and needles of the pine overhead. All the way into space, she said silently, all the way to the battle school. No letters ever come, and as far as they knew, their own letters never reached him. When the first was taken, Father and Mother sat at the table and keyed in long letters to him every few days. Soon, though, it was once a week, and when no answers came, once a month. Now it had been 2 years since he went, and there were no letters. None at all, and no remembrance on his birthday. He's dead, she thought bitterly, because we have forgotten him. But Valentine had not forgotten him. She did not let her parents know, and above all never hinted to Peter how often she thought about Ender. How often she wrote him letters that she knew he would not answer. And when Mother and Father had announced to them that they were leaving the city to move to North Carolina, of all places, Valentine knew that they never expected to see Ender again. They were leaving the only place where he knew to find them. How would Ender find them here, among these trees, under the changeable and heavy sky? He had lived deep in the corridors all his life. What if he was still in the battle school and there was less of nature there? What would he make of this? Valentine knew why they had moved here. It was for Peter, so that living among the trees and small animals, so that nature, in as raw form as mother and father could conceive of it, might have a softening influence on their strange and frightening son. And in a way it had. Peter took to it right away. Long walks out in the open, cutting through woods and out in the open country, going sometimes for a whole day with only a sandwich or two sharing space with his desk in the pack on his back, with only a small pocket knife in his pocket. But Valentine knew. She had seen a squirrel half-skinned, spiked by its little hands and feet, with twigs pushed into the dirt. She pictured Peter trapping it, staking it, then carefully parting and peeling back the skin without breaking into the abdomen, watching the muscles twitch and ripple. How long had it taken the squirrel to die? And all the while, Peter had sat nearby